5 years, 4 murders, 3 states. Now, one terror plot. This is India's biggest criminal conspiracy. 20th August 2013, Narendra Dabolkar shot to death in Pune. 20th February 2015, Govind Pansare shot dead in Kolhapur. September 2015, M.M. Kalburgi shot dead in Dharwad district of Karnataka. And then, on September 4th, 2017, Gauri Lankesh murdered in cold blood in Bengaluru. CBI, Anti-Terror Squad, CID have all hinted at a common link between the murders. The ballistic signature left by the bullets, the modus operandi, all point to one right-wing organization.
इस मामले में जब हम इन तीनों एक्यूज के साथ में पूछताछ कर रहे थे, उसमें से एक एक्यूज ने एक अहम बात हमारे सामने रखी, जिसमें 2013 में डॉक्टर नरेंद्र दाभोलकर इनकी जो हत्या हुई थी, उसके बारे में महत्वपूर्ण इंफॉर्मेशन हमको मिली.
Now, the latest terror plot that the anti-terror squad has unearthed in Maharashtra has agencies probing links to the same group. 4 people have been arrested after ATS raids found a huge cache of bombs and ammunition and literature for making bombs.
The Hindu Jan Jagriti Samiti for now claims that he's not their office bearer, but he has been attending their programs regularly. In the past few years, he's been attending their annual Adiveshan where they have, which is an umbrella organization.
As investigations continue in the murder cases of the 4 rationalists and the terror plot uncovered in Maharashtra, Mirror now asks, isn't it time that India bans the one common link? Let's debate.
And this entire thing gets more and more complicated. It's been happening over 5 years. These 4 murders took place over 5 years, and all 4 murders over 3 states were unsolved until the ATS in Mumbai conducted a raid and unraveled a terror plot. And you remember, viewers, we brought you that entire story here on Mirror Now, where 3 people were arrested with over 20 bombs in their possession, with perhaps a master plan to attack the city of Mumbai. Through that investigation, as the ATS continued to question those 3 people who were prime suspects in that terror plot, they have now found leads to these 4 murders. And it does seem like all of these crimes have one thing in common. Was there a mastermind who had plotted these murders and then plotted to attack the city of Mumbai? This is currently, as of today, the biggest criminal conspiracy we have in the country. Is there someone giving orders to hitmen to shoot people in cold blood? Is there someone willing and wanting to rip our country apart based on our differences? What is this conspiracy and who's behind it? In the studio with me today, Rizwan Merchant is an advocate, Dhanraj Vanjari is the former ACP Mumbai, Avdut Wagh for the Maharashtra BJP, Rashmi Parmeshwaran is the spokesperson of the Sanatan Sanstha, Aniket Nikam is a lawyer, Mandar Fanse, senior news editor of Mirror Now. I welcome all of you to this conversation. Mandar, I want to start with you. The latest developments, and you know, the last time we brought this story to our viewers, the ATS had conducted its raids and it had arrested Vaibhav Rao and 2 other people. Vaibhav Rao had connections with the Sanatan Sanstha. What has happened since then? Fill us in.
Faye, it is very clear that most of the people who have been found in either of the other cases, be it in Karnataka, be it in Maharashtra, be it in Kalburgi case, be it in Pansare case, everywhere the one thing is very common, and that common thing is the people who are involved as accused over here are either linked with Sanatan Sanstha, either they are the office bearers or they are the sadhaks. That is one thing. The other thing is, obviously most important is the ballistic reports. The ballistic reports where the 4 murders were conducted and the 2 weapons were used. They are either were used in either of the murders which were committed by these men. So obviously there is something which is connecting the larger plot, the larger conspiracy, and at the same time, if we go back, it is not just 5 years, but if we go back to 2009 in Goa blast, of course, the same names are coming in the front. So obviously, there is something which is happening around this particular organization which is in question.
Well, I have another question for you, Mandar. We had one of the lawyers come out and make a statement about 10 minutes before we started the show, where he said basically that these men all knew each other. That doesn't necessarily criminally link them. It's like how all journalists know each other across news networks. That's how they know each other. Do you buy that justification?
Absolutely, I don't see any base in that particular justification, because obvious that there are certain clinching evidences which 5 different kind of investigating agencies are claiming. So obviously there is something where all these 5 investigating agencies who are not really coordinating amongst themselves, and at the same time they are pointing out to one particular organization
and that organization.
The people. Yeah.
Also, for those of our viewers who don't know, Mandar, could you explain to them what the Sanatan Sanstha is?
Sanatan Sanstha, as they claim that they are cleansing the system within the religion of Hindu, especially they work the earlier office since almost last 10 years odd. It is in Goa, and apart from that Goa, there are certain various issues which has cropped up with Sanatan Sanstha when it comes to their way of conducting and understanding the religion, especially when it comes to a raid in particular which has happened earlier in before 2014. At Panvel ashram of Sanatan Sanstha, there were certain objectionable material which was found apart from that the literary.
What kind of objection material?
There were some psychotropic drugs also which were recovered, and then there were various allegations made in those days also on this particular organization. Apart from that, there are various objectionable methods of psychotropic drugs being used were well alleged on this particular Sanatan Sanstha.
In fact, we have the bite of the lawyer who spoke to the press about 15 minutes ago. Now, we can actually play that out for our viewers.
आज एटीएस ने श्रीकांत पांगरकर को प्रोड्यूस किया और उसकी कोर्ट से 15 दिन का कस्टडी लेने का रिक्वेस्ट किया। एटीएस का आरोप श्रीकांत के ऊपर यह है कि एक दिन 48 आवर्स की कस्टडी के दौरान उसके घर से इलेक्ट्रॉनिक आइटम्स मिले हैं, कंप्यूटर, पेन ड्राइव, हार्ड डिस्क वगैरह, कुछ लिटरेचर मिला है। और एटीएस का आरोप यह है कि जो एक्टिविटीज़ चल रही है उसको श्रीकांत पंगरकर ने फंड करने का रोल प्ले किया है। कोर्ट से जब स्पेसिफिक क्वेरी आई कि ये जो लिटरेचर श्रीकांत से रिकवर किया है वो क्या बैन है क्या, तो एटीएस के पास में इसका कोई जवाब नहीं था। एटीएस के पास में कोई इन्फॉर्मेशन नहीं था कि लिटरेचर बैंड है या नहीं है। उसके बाद में फर्दर क्वेरी आया कि जो इलेक्ट्रॉनिक रिकॉर्ड जो हर किसी घर में मिलते हैं, लैपटॉप, मोबाइल, पेन ड्राइव, हार्ड डिस्क वगैरह, इसमें कुछ इनक्रिमिनेटिंग मटेरियल मिला है क्या। तो उस क्वेश्चन के ऊपर भी एटीएस के पास में कोई जवाब नहीं था और हमने एटीएस जो 15 दिन का कस्टडी मांग रही थी उसको अपोज किया और हमारी बात सुनने के बाद में एटीएस को 8 दिन का कस्टडी कोर्ट ने दिया है। जी, जो भी ये चारों मर्डर केस हुए हैं, इन चारों मर्डर केसेस में जिन भी लोगों को
that was Dharam Raj, the lawyer who incidentally was initially representing Weber Rout, is now, and he works, according to what he said on the show last time, pro bono. So he's working completely for free. He's a very generous lawyer, apparently. But Mandar, I'm going to read out these details, and I want you to confirm them. This is the information if we put it all in one flowchart. The Gauri Lankesh murder, 5 suspects were arrested who allegedly are linked to the Sanatan Sanstha. Narendra Dabolkar case, allegedly Sanstha links are being probed. Govind Pansari, 4 suspects, all linked again. Kalburgi case, again people were arrested who are linked. Maharashtra terror plot, people are arrested. And incidentally, the weapons used in 3 out of 4 murder cases were the same.
These weapons, especially Faye, they are very, very critical because as in the earlier ballistic reports, the two weapons are identifying that the striations which were found on those particular cartridges from the spot of the murders, they were especially in case of Pansare, while he was shot dead, two weapons were used, and one of the weapon was identified with the weapon was being used in Mr. Dabholkar case. And apart from that, even one of the weapon which was used in Govind Pansare's case was also found used in Kalburgi case. So that shows how it is intricately woven plot, especially the conspiracy which we are right now talking about, has to be something in common.
Is there a possibility that it is connected to those people who stored 20 bombs in the city of Mumbai?
Yeah, and of course, and 11, we cannot forget about the 11 pistols which are also found there in
20 bombs and 11 pistols. Dhanraj Vanjari, as former ACP Mumbai, does this sound like a criminal conspiracy to you? Because these 4 murders were unsolved for 5 years, Mr. Vanjari, until this one ATS raid.
It is the biggest conspiracy, and it's daylight fact, only a matter of getting connecting evidence against this conspiracy. Daylight fact is such that in this country, the right extremist ideologists are taking the nation to regression nationalism from pragmatic democracy. That is their job, and they are doing it with a rigorous speed. Now, whosoever comes in their way is the rationalist. They are eliminating rationalists, those who are trying to put the truth of the hardened life of Indian psychology before the people. They want to eliminate them. Definitely it's a big conspiracy. Today I have 2 important statements which came in media to say on your channel, Faye. Number 1 is the world famous scientist Dr. Jayant Narlikar. He categorically said that this investigation must reach to the main mastermind and the kingpin of this entire conspiracy. Second very important statement has come from Tushar Gandhi, who also said categorically mentioning that the delay in the investigation, delay in the arrest of the accused in phase by phase, it took more than 5 years. It means that there would be some gap in connecting the evidence linkage together by which the accused would be benefited in the court of law at the time of trial. Third very important thing I would like to mention before I finish my point, that Raj Thakre of Manasseh, irrespective of his political appearance, is categorically mentioning in his statement that in this country there will be a massive riots, communal disharmony, and there will be bomb blast and some all other things. I think his statements, apart from the political gimmicks, should be taken seriously as a part of intelligence, that where from he got this all intelligence. Connecting all these things, and just now what Mandar said, that there is a connection between Goa bomb blast, there is connection between the people arrested in Gauri Lankesh, connection between the people arrested in Pansare, and now the new connection has come that Pangarkar's arrest today is very significant arrest. Look at the history of Pangarkar. He is basically a man of, he was in BJP, then he was thrown out from BJP, he went to Shiv Sena, he was twice corporator. After that, he was not given any ticket, so he stood independent with his wife. Now finally, before about 3 years, he joined Hindu Janajagruti Sena. What does it indicate? See the ideological journey of a person. Is it not his previous conduct to be considered under Section 8 of Indian Evidence Act to try him against, which matches his subsequent conduct? So these are the important things. It's a big challenge before investigative agency, and the forces who are trying to demoralize police of ATS, which they have concretely done at the time of Mr. Karkare, I request them, let the police play their card honestly as per the law, and let the process of investigation be completed. At the behest, there will be a trial and the truth will come forward, and the entire nation will know that why these people hatch such a big conspiracy against the public intellectuals.
Yes, I want to ask this question of Avdut Wagh, spokesperson of the Maharashtra BJP. Mr. Wagh, first I want to appreciate the Maharashtra police, the ATS, who have managed to completely stop this this plot or of attack on either Mumbai or anyone else that someone was amassing weapons for. Also the Maharashtra government for allowing the ATS the free hand to be able to do the work that they need to do. But I want to understand, last year the Maharashtra government placed before the central government a request to ban the Sanatan Sanstha under the UAPA. Do we know the status of that request? Has there been any sort of response to that request?
Basically, the 4 murders and the investigation which is going on since the assassination of Dr. Dabolkar, almost 5 years have passed.
Yes.
And I heard a statement of Mukta Dabolkar. She said that as she believed that the investigation is going on the expected way, what she was expecting, and she was also happy about it. What I mean to say that let the police, as Vanzari Sahab said, let the police start working on that. They should work independently. They should work without any political or social pressure. Then only they will be able to deliver the results. The pressure from all the sides, the pressure from media, the pressure from right wings, the pressure from left wings, the pressure from center wings, the pressure from politically the ruling party, the pressure from opposition party should be stopped, because we should believe in a system, and in this particular system police are working independently, and they
Mr.
are
Wagh,
not now working as per the whims and fancies of the ruling party. It proves time and again that our Home Minister and Chief Minister, Honorable Devendraji Fadnavis, has given free hand to ATS and all other investigating agencies, the result of which is now in front of you.
Right, but you didn't answer my question, Mr. Wagh. The request that was placed by the Maharashtra government before the central government last year has not been answered. The central government has neither said yes nor said no, and we've received no update whatsoever officially. Is there any update that the Maharashtra government has received?
Banning any organization which is working as per the constitution which is written by Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar requires lot of things. For example, RSS was banned somewhere in 1948. It was banned in 1975. What happened? RSS is blooming now. So you just cannot go on stopping any organization from their legitimate work unless and until you have got enough proofs and enough documents to go against them.
So you're saying you don't have enough proof and documents to go against them?
Both center and the police are working on that. And
but the Maharashtra government under the on advice of the ATS has already sent a request last year. Are you saying, Mr. Wagh, that the Maharashtra government sent a request last year to ban the Sanatan Sanstha without enough evidence or without thinking it through?
I'm not aware what government of Maharashtra's Home Department has requested the center.
But if you run a simple Google search, you will find it. Well, it was well documented in all of the newspapers that the Maharashtra government, and in order to send this out,
maybe I am not that good in searching Google like you people.
Well, I would ask you to take this more seriously, Mr. Wagh. We are talking about a terror plot against the state of Maharashtra and by that extension against the country. You don't seem to be taking it seriously enough. Mr. Rizwan Merchant, what are the rules?
I think these are the two different,
Why are they different?
Madam, I think these are the two different things. One is banning one organization, let the time, at right time, government will take its own decision. Right now, we should concentrate to find out the conspiracy, the head of the conspiracy, the mastermind of the conspiracy, the shooters and the killers of these 4 activists. That is more important. I think once that is out, we all will be having more proofs and more logical things to conclude.
Well, that's very interesting given the fact, you're telling me not to hurry up, but I'm pointing out to you one more time that the Maharashtra government sent out this request.
I'm not saying you to hurry up, I'm saying we to hurry up.
The Maharashtra government sent out this request over a year ago. So you today saying let's wait until we get more evidence doesn't actually form a very good argument, because then that argument should have been made before the Maharashtra government sent out its request. All I want to know is, has there been a response to that request at all between the Home Ministries of Maharashtra and the Government of India. Mr. Rizwan Merchant, what are the laws against under the UAPA Act in which an organization can be banned?
Before I proceed with the laws of UAPA, let me correct Mr. Wagh that, sir, if you claim that Sanatan Sanstha is working under the Constitution, are you trying to endorse their activities which have now been disclosed to the investigation of ATS are something which are constitutionally mandated to them? Let me just clarify things.
Please, 1 minute.
You appear to be laboring under a big misunderstanding. The Constitution does not give anybody authority, first of all, to appoint themselves as a self-proclaimed cleansing agent of any religion. And that also by use of weapons, by use of explosives.
No, let him finish arguing because the audience can't hear you if he's talking over you. All right, Mr. Wagh, all right.
I have never supported, I have never
Okay.
no.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
No,
Mr. Rizwan,
you said something like Sanatan Sanstha was functioning under the Constitution. Sanatan Sanstha was functioning under Constitution. This is what fell from you. Now, do you mean to suggest that these activities are constitutionally mandated to a self-proclaimed cleansing agent of a particular religion? I'm sorry, I beg to disagree. Article 14 does not give anybody that authority. Secondly, each of these individual murders are not an individual crime punishable under 302. One follows the other, and then goes up to 5 murders. Same organization being linked with those particular 5 murders. Now that organization recently is being under investigation by the ATS for recovery of certain explosives, certain items which ordinarily are not supposed to be in possession of any religious organization who is functioning according to you under the Constitution. Okay? Now, under Section 15 of the UAPA Act, every person who either uses an explosive or any similar material to either instill fear or into any person, any individual person, or cause any injury to any individual person is committing a terrorist act. I'm not confining myself only to challenging the integrity, sovereignty of the country. It also includes an individual. Now, in this case, if there were 5 individuals which were involved in being eliminated by use of weapons by one organization, I fail to understand why doesn't your government of Maharashtra take a bold step of saying that this is a case of terrorist act which is made out under Section 15 of the UAPA. Why are you keeping quiet? Leave alone the application which was in 2017. Why doesn't the government of Maharashtra today take the bold step of saying, today we are putting up a proposal to the central government to ban the activities because we have got material to suggest that under Section 15 of the UAPA, this is a terrorist act. Be bold enough of saying it now at least. You did not say it in 17. Forget the application of 17. We give you the benefit of doubt. But today you have got material. And a particular agency which you categorically said is being given full liberty, full license by the Honorable Chief Minister to do that investigation. We appreciate that. And we know that the Honorable CM will never interfere in this investigation. But when ATS has got material, why doesn't the government of Maharashtra today at least put up an application? You don't need to wait till the conclusion of the investigation. You can make that application on the basis of prima facie material which is available with the investigating officer. It is not only an organization which is engaged in eliminating 5 individual people, it is a terrorist act. The act defines this as a terrorist act.
Mr. Wagh,
I'm not saying this.
Do you want to respond to that, please? Go ahead.
You want a response from me?
Yes, please.
Number one, that sir, the government of Maharashtra is not my government, it is our government. So I think you are also part and parcel of the government. It is our government.
So we have elected you.
पार्टी का नहीं होता
You are our representative.
सभी का होता है. Number one.
Sir, I'm sorry. We have chosen you. You are our representative.
Let me complete, sir.
You are supposed to protect us. It was your responsibility to protect those 5 lives who have gone. And if you are not able to protect them, then what is the use of having you?
Cool down. Cool cool down, sir.
I'm not.
The government of Maharashtra
sir,
and
this
state
is how my
police
tone is.
are busy somewhere
I'm
else.
not angry. This is how my tone is.
The audience can't hear you if you both talk at the same time. Mr. Bag, go ahead, please. We want to hear your answer.
Let me answer. First of all, I have never said that Sanatan Sanstha is working as per the constitution. I said any organization which is working as per the constitution, to ban that organization, please rewind and recheck. Any organization which is working as per the constitution, if you want to ban, there is a process.
What is the
process? The government, the police and the organization and even the court will not go as per your whims and fancies.
1 second.
Had it
Mr.
been
Bag,
so,
what is the
by
process?
now all the
Explain to us the
organizations
process, sir.
which are opposing you.
What is the
now
process?
let me tell you something. In 1953, Dr. Shama Prasad Mukherjee, who is the founder of Jana Sangha, was assassinated 65 years back. There is no trace who has killed him. In 1968, our second founder, Pandit Deendayal Upadhyay, was assassinated 50 years back. In these 50 years and 65 years, many governments have come, many governments have gone.
No, so what
and
are you saying?
assassination, we have not reached up to the assassinator.
So what are you
there
saying?
There are always the chances that police, after trying their level best, they are unable to trace the problem. So try to understand that. Number two, government of Maharashtra is trying their level best. Had it not been so, we would not have reached this particular stage. Now, to answer Madam's question, it is under the regime of NDA, not NDA, UPA. That is, when Congress and Rashtravadi was there was a proposal which is sent from state Home Department to Sushil Kumar Shinde when he was a Home
No,
Minister.
Mr. Bag, it was one sent
Central
last year.
to ban
Manoj, when was the
Sanatan
request
Sanstha,
sent?
and he has not
March
taken
or
any
April.
decision at particular
One second.
time.
Mr. Bag, I know you don't like to Google and you think we can do a better search than you. Mandar?
Of course, 2017, March, April.
Who was the Home Minister of Maharashtra who sent the request to the Home Minister of India?
Chief Minister of Maharashtra.
Chief Minister of Maharashtra sent that request. Also, Mr. Bag, you're saying that there is a process.
Being a Home
I have
Minister,
not said Chief Minister, Home Department of Maharashtra.
Of course, he is the Home Minister.
He is the Home Minister, Mr. Bag. Mr. Fadnavis is the Home Minister of Maharashtra also.
Whoever it may be, doesn't make any difference. I said Home Department. Home Department
So
has
this was sent
to
last
Central.
year,
At
yes.
that time, Central Home Minister was Sushil Kumar Shinde. I remember that.
Central
No,
Home
no, no,
Minister
that
last
was
year
long
was
back.
Mr.
That was
Rajnath
long
Singh.
back.
I'm referring to
long back.
Mr. Bag, if you are not going to do any research before you come to the show, at least do us the courtesy of listening to us when we tell you what the facts are. Last year in April, the Maharashtra Home Department...
You come out with the facts.
I'm
I have
telling
said
you.
that it is Sushil Kumar Shinde who has not banned that particular organization. I want to ask why he has not done that. At
Okay,
that
you
time.
ask him
It is
later.
only
Now let
because
me
there
ask
was
my
not
question. Okay,
substantial
very good.
proof
Okay,
against
very
that
good.
particular
All right.
organization.
Okay, Mr.
But
Bag
the
is not in the
moment
mood
we
to
get it,
listen
we
to
will
us,
ban
but
it.
let me just put
The
this
moment we
information
get
out.
substantial
Last year,
proof-
1 second, Mr. Bag, 1 second. Last year,
Irrespective of organization.
is he going to listen to us now? Last year in April 2017, the Home Minister / Chief Minister of Maharashtra, Mr. Devendra Fadnavis, on advice from the ATS of Maharashtra, sent a request to the Central Government Home Ministry headed by Mr. Rajnath Singh to ban the Sanatan Sanstha. Is that correct?
Absolutely.
There has been no response so far from the central government
I'm not aware
or Mr. Rajnath Singh, or they've not said yes, they've not said no. We've heard nothing since then.
Nothing since, no communication.
Also, the process of the ban is in the Act, which is the UAPA Act. It says very clearly that it is within the discretion of the Government of India to do so. There is no court involved. There is a tribunal that the organization, the banned organization, can approach.
And unless there are some evidences attached to it.
Yes.
Look, all you require under the UAP Act is the existence of material to suggest the commission of a cognizable offence by a organization. The moment an organization is shown involved in having committed a cognizable offence, you can make that particular proposal. And here we have got 5 individual murders, each of which are cognizable offences, which was supposed to be one of the grounds for banning that organization as an unlawful organization. And now I can understand sufficient time has passed, but you can send a reminder to the central government that in this case explosives have been found which are not supposed to be material, which are supposed to be found in a religious organization. Why should a religious organization to cleanse somebody, to cleanse the system, require explosives and bombs?
Right. Let me just go through for our audience sake, and I also want to at this point bring in Rashmi Parmeshwaran from the Sanatan Sanstha, who's been kind enough to join us and answer some of the questions that we have. I'm looking at the CBI charge sheet in this case in the Dabolkar murder. Suspects: Virendra Singh Taude, Sarang Akolkar, Vinay Pawar, and Sachin Andure, who was arrested on the 18th of August this year, allegedly are all linked to the Sanatan Sanstha. Rashmi ji, are these 4 people linked to your organization?
Hello, madam. I've been hearing the whole discussion going on till now, and I thank you for giving me a chance to speak. First of all, I request you to give me enough time to answer all the questions and make many things clear. Many of the allegations that have been made on Sanatan Sanstha. Though we have said that Sachin Andure is not a seeker of Sanatan Sanstha. Vaibhav Raut himself is not a seeker of Sanatan Sanstha. We have made it clear, and we have said that Dr. Taude is a seeker of Sanatan Sanstha. But we believe in democracy and the judiciary, and before making many allegations on Sanatan Sanstha, we should wait for the investigations to be completed.
Okay, so fair enough.
This democratic country.
Yes, we are a democratic country. I agree with you.
We believe in judiciary, and I think that media should not become judges. We should wait for the investigation to complete. The investigations are in a very primary stage, and all the discussions, all the allegations that were being made in this discussion have no base. That's what I would like to say.
Okay. Let me just go over this primary stage investigation that you're talking about. Narendra Dabolkar was shot dead in 2013, 5 years ago. The CBI took over the case May 2014. In June 2016, the CBI arrested Sanatan Sanstha seeker Dr. Virendra Singh Taude for the murder. After 2 years of investigation, the CBI then in September 2016 filed a charge sheet, and for our viewers, charge sheet is after the investigation is conducted, and in that charge sheet named Virendra Singh Taude. He was then released on bail. He is currently out on bail in that case. He was released on bail on the 31st of January this year. So here's my question then to you, Rashmi ji. Dr. Virendra Singh Taude has been named by the CBI no less in the charge sheet of the murder of Narendra Dabolkar, and he has also been named in the charge sheet of the murder of Govind Pansare. Is he a member of your organization?
Regarding the murder of Dabolkar case, I would like to tell you something, that why Dabolkar family has approached High Court to stall the case. Why they are opposing the case being trial in court. The case is not going ahead, and the charge sheet is not final. The verdict of the court is to be taken as final. So why the Dabolkar family is not letting the case go ahead is our question, and that raises many questions in this case. Why Nagori and Khandelwal's bail was not opposed by the Dabolkar family when armaments were
these are all diversion from the main point of view. Basically, Dabolkar family, as far as my information is concerned, they have never tried to stall such kind of any proceedings which are ongoing.
In fact, we have Mukta Dabolkar on camera speaking with our reporter today. Can we play that out, please?
This is a good step that we believe, but as we all know, the things didn't stop with Dr. Dabolkar's murder. After that, Comrade Pansare was murdered, then Professor Kalburgi, and then Gauri Lankesh. And the investigating agencies themselves have said that there is a link amongst all these murders. So what is important now is that the whole plot of shutting voices of the people by murdering them needs to be brought out, needs to be revealed, and the mastermind needs to be booked.
Rashmi ji, let's talk about the second murder, Mr. Pansare, who was murdered in 2015, in the CBI charge, in the SIT charge sheet, Sameer Gaikwad, who is associated, according with the SIT, with the Sanatan Sanstha since 1998. His wife, in fact, resides at one of the ashrams. Virendra Singh Taude, we just talked about, Sarang Akolkar, and Vijay Pawar, who are apparently, Vinay Pawar, I beg your pardon, who are apparently activists with your organization. Are they members of your organization?
Madam, let me clear certain things. Regarding the Dr. Tavde was left on bail. That itself says that there is no evidence against him. The allegations
I don't
are
believe
false.
That's what it says.
And the charge sheet is not final. And it's the same in Pansare case also. And it is being claimed that same gun was used in all these murders. How can that be? How can that be? After Dabolkar's murder, the gun was seized by the police, and how did it go out again? It's a simple question that Sanatan Sanstha is putting forward.
No, that was another case when in the earlier government, it is all clear that how the police was also bungled completely while investigating in a hurry, and that's the reason why the case was transferred to CBI in the later days because of High Court, basically, because of thanks to High Court. Since had it not been High Court there, it could have been still a delay.
Yeah, it's a conspiracy against Sanatan Sanstha going on. All these false allegations. Why when you believe in judiciary and when you believe in democracy, why can't you wait till the investigations are over? The investigations are to be done by the police, the ATS, and the court is going to do trial.
Okay.
Why the
Aniket Nigam, here's the argument. If we believe in democracy and believe in judiciary, why can't we wait until all of these investigations are concluded and the judiciary gives its verdict? Aniket Nigam, please.
Let me first point out, it was said by one of your speakers who represents Sanatan that releasing an accused on bail means that there is no evidence against him. That is a completely incorrect proposition, because if an accused is released on bail, there could be several reasons. So it does not mean that since there was no evidence against him, that is why he is being enlarged on bail. And secondly, he has to be tested. Now the point is that before the investigating agency, there lies a Herculean task. Initially, when CBI filed charge sheet, they mentioned 2 persons as the assailants. However, now they have arrested another person who they claim is an assailant. Now, it is very essential for CBI to link the dots and to show that behind all these murders, there is one single institution, one single organization. And it is the case of investigating agency, they have to play out all these flags very well. Because whatever, speaking in terms of the law point, whatever an accused says while being in custody of police or during interrogation is inadmissible in the eyes of law. It can serve as a link for them for further investigation, but they need to have concrete evidence in order to show it in their charge sheet, and so that it can stand the test of trial also, that there is one organization or it is being done at the behest of that particular organization. Therefore, it is very essential that while they are investigating this offense, it is not just unearthing the facts, but also building their case to in such a manner that it stands the test of trial and they put out before the court what is admissible in the eyes of law.
So I just want to ask Rashmiji, you said that this was a conspiracy by the previous government, but the arrests that have been made now in the last 1 week have been made under the watchful eye of the Maharashtra government, which is a BJP government. So who is conspiring against you? Who do you think is conspiring against you?
Government means government is not just the elected members.
Okay.
What you're talking about is the elected members of the government. But there are other administrative function also in that. And
Who are these people?
Believe in Modi government that it will do all the inquiry impartially, and that Sanatan Sanstha
who's conspiring against you?
Family.
Who is conspiring against you?
The leftists, the progressives, I don't know, but that can be proved only in the investigation. But we have been facing.
But these are arrests that have been made, if I'm not mistaken, by the ATS, the Anti-Terror Squad Maharashtra, the CBI, the SITs, which are special investigating teams in Maharashtra, in Karnataka and in Goa. So these are all different police units who have made these arrests.
It was made clear who was behind it. In the Madgaon case regarding Sanatan Sanstha, the judge said that Sanatan Sanstha, why it was unnecessary being grabbed into the case. So an investigation needs to be made behind regarding who are behind this to stop the Hindu organizations to ban them. We are being made scapegoat by these
You're being made a scapegoat. Okay. Listen, this is the information we have about M.M. Kalburgi's murder. Investigators found that there was a resemblance between one of the sketches and Rudra Patil, a member of the organization Sanatan Sanstha, who was wanted for also the bomb blast case in Goa in 2009. This was one of the first real leads that the team found, but Rudra Patil then disappeared. Also, the CID learned that another member, Samir Gaikwad, had been in touch with Rudra Patil. And the search for Gaikwad was on. He was arrested by the Maharashtra SIT in connection with the murder of Govind Pansari. The CID had to wait for a while before they could question him. So, was this also a conspiracy? Was the Goa police and the Maharashtra CID also conspiring against you?
There is not a single not a single charge on Sanatan Sanstha yet. But we feel that you are searching for mastermind behind everyone's murder. We want to know who is the mastermind behind banning Sanatan Sanstha, and that too on false allegations. Why are you not ready to wait till the court does completes the trials? Why till the ATS completes its investigation?
Mr. Merchant, why don't you want to wait until the court has completed the trial? Also, I'm still reacting to the fact that it's not us who don't want to wait. The Maharashtra government had put out a request last year. So this is a request from the Maharashtra government and not from us. But Mr. Merchant, please go ahead.
See, there is no need. Rashmi Madam, I'll tell you one thing. There is one thing which is a matter of investigation. Now, what the investigation is being done by ATS is to come to the conclusion that a terrorist act has been committed. Now, for finding out whether a terrorist act has been committed, you don't need to wait till the completion of the trial and for the finding of the judgment. The judgment of the court will be that yes, a terrorist act has been committed. At this point of time, the ATS is only prima facie wanting to collect material to show that this was a terrorist act so that they can be taken to court to answer the charge of terrorist act. You will get an ample opportunity in the course of the trial to rebut your case, to put up your defense that A was conspiring against me, B was conspiring against the Sanatan Sanstha. You should wait for the trial instead of coming today and telling us that there is a conspiracy to falsely implicate. You wait till the time is given to you by the court after the framing of charges to rebut the charges. At this point of time, there is material by ATS to suggest that your organization was involved in these activities. This is not the point for you to rebut the charges. Now, please understand, documents have been found, okay? Literature has been found for assembling of bombs. The USB ports have been found, computers have been found. Under the Evidence Act, this all today constitutes electronic evidence. This electronic evidence is required to be subjected to forensic examination. After the forensic examination comes, you can rebut your charge that this was my computer or was not my computer. But you will be given an opportunity to do so in the course of the trial. This is not the time when you can come and say that I am being falsely implicated. People want to know that this is a terrorist act which is committed. ATS is telling the people that prima facie, we feel this is a terrorist act and we have arrested them, we are going to put them to charge. You should wait for the trial court, participate in the trial. You will be given every fundamental requirement which is available to you under the Constitution to defend yourself.
Aniket Nikam,
you have the best of lawyers who appear for you, free of cost.
Free of cost. It's also interesting that people arrested across various cases all have the same lawyers. Aniket Nikam, go ahead please.
Faye, the law is very clear. If there is evidence against you and if it is in the nature of a sufficient evidence, police will file charge sheet.
That's right.
Now in this case, CBI has filed first charge sheet and it is not so that the CBI has said that there is nothing that is revealed in the charge sheet.
Very true.
The fact that there is a filing of charge sheet against some of the accused persons means that there is evidence against those accused persons. That is number one. Number two, if the Sanatan Sanstha or their representatives are claiming that there is absolutely nothing and they are just being a scapegoat, then they should try the option of discharge which is available to them in law. But till today, none of the accused, to the best of my knowledge, have filed any discharge application in respect of those persons against whom charge sheet has been filed. So this argument in air that they have been persecuted, that they have been falsely prosecuted and they have been made a scapegoat is something that will not hold water, for the simple reason that the investigating agency which has been investigating this offence has found leads, number one. They have found sufficient evidence in the form maybe of electronic nature or of other kind of evidence, and depending and on the basis of that evidence they have filed this charge sheet. Therefore, it is premature and it is completely misplaced to make a statement that there is absolutely nothing against these accused persons.
Absolutely. And here's the bigger question to ask, Mandar, when it comes to the amount of ammunition, the bombs, the pistols, the explosives that were seized in this last case about a week ago, would it have been possible at all for one individual making a plan, or for 2 or 3 individuals making a plan on their own to amass that kind of ammunition?
Absolutely not possible. This is not an act which can be just done by one person alone, and at the same time there are series of various developments which has happened since 2009. So then why can't we just exchange the information? Listen to me. Since 2009 there are 5 investigating agencies. There are 2 SITs, one from Karnataka, one from Maharashtra. There is one CID, there is one NIA, there is CBI, and then Maharashtra police as well. So obviously there were 6 different investigating agencies so far which were involved into these 4 murders investigations, and then why can't they amongst themselves share the information? Look at the impact of one particular lead which was shared by ATS Maharashtra to CBI. They have arrested the suspect in the suspect shooter of the Dabholkar. So obviously that particular exchange is not happening.
So this argument that Rashmi ji is offering to us right now, the Hemant Karkare argument, how does that argument apply to 6 different investigating teams? And this is not one team, this is not one officer who can be planting and conspiring. 6 different investigating teams across 3 states, 2 of which are national. Do you think that argument holds, the Hemant Karkare argument that is being offered?
I mean, they are doing certain different arguments, but look at the literature. Look at the Sanatan Sanstha's literature. The literature itself is pointing out to various incriminating things. There is literature available with the ATS. There is literature available with every other investigating authority which is serious enough to act against them.
See, Hemant Karkare's example, what they are citing, Faye, I would treat that as a desperate defense which they are trying to put for to give a clean chit to Sanatan Sanstha.
Let's actually, I want to ask this question of Mr. Avadhut Wagh of the BJP. Mr. Wagh, obviously the Maharashtra government is very proud of the police force in this state that has done such a good job of stopping this terror plot before it was actually carried out. But Rashmi ji has made a very serious allegation that the officers in the Maharashtra police are conspiring against this organization and are planting evidence. Now this is a very, very serious allegation against members of the ATS or the CID or the CBI in this case. What is your reaction to this allegation?
Basically, we should believe in systems. Systems sometimes work wrongly, but ultimately
No,
we
one
have
at a
to
time,
decide
please.
upon
My
the
question
system.
was to
I have
Mr.
also gone
Avadhut
through.
Wagh. One at a time, please. Mr. Wagh, go ahead.
So I'm answering the same thing. I'm saying that we have to believe the system. There is a system. So police is part of the systems. We have to believe the police force. We have to believe the court of laws. And I think if somebody wants justice, there is a process, and only the process will prove who is right, who is wrong, who is guilty, and who is not guilty. I think it is only the time which will prove.
No,
I don't
Mr.
think
Wagh,
government
Mr. Wagh,
of
you're not.
Maharashtra,
You're saying very very broad things. You're not being specific. Do you, what is as a representative of the Maharashtra BJP that runs the Maharashtra government? We have an individual on this show who is saying that there are officers within the government who are planting evidence, wrongly accusing people and committing a fraud of the highest order. What is your reaction to that?
My reaction is that we have got strong belief on police force. We believe the police will give right justice to all these 4 murders as far as possible. To the best of their knowledge and ability, we will come out with proofs to put the guilty behind the bar.
With your permission, just one
Please.
question I'd like to put to Rashmi ji. Rashmi ji, tell me one thing. If you categorically today say that this is a case of planting by the police, what action has your Sanatan Sanstha taken? Have you gone to the High Court for filing a writ and saying that this is a false implication? Did you go to the DGP and say, please transfer the investigation? These bunch of police officers are dishonest. Have you gone to the State Police Complaint Authority, which is presided by a retired High Court judge and an officer of the rank of Additional Commissioner, and tell them these bunch of officers are dishonest, they are planting goods, please remove them.
Sir, I would
Transfer
like to
our
say that
investigation.
not a
You are
single
keeping
charge
quiet.
is there
You
on
are participating in the
Sanatan Sanstha. That's what I
investigation.
would like
You
to
have never
say.
gone with
That
any
there is
complaint
not
to
a
the court
single
asking for
charge on
transfer.
Sanatan Sanstha
And today
till
for the
this
first
day,
time you say it's a
but
case of
false-
planting.
But false allegations are
Don't make
being
allegations
made.
with material.
Continuously
You
hate
give us
mongering about
allegations with
Sanatan
material
Sanstha
and we will
is
see
fake.
what is to be done with the police.
Let the court decide. That's what we want to say.
It's very
That there
easy
is
to
not
make
a
allegations by the
single
police that the
case,
police is planting.
not a
We as
single
defense
charge.
lawyers make those allegations in court, but it is impossible to prove it. Impossible to prove it. I have not been able to prove that in 35 years of my practice.
All right,
Case of
so,
planting.
so I just want to ask.
And you expect us to believe it?
I just want to ask Mandar this question because we're running out of time. Mandar, this whole, now the connections that emerge, and simply the terror plot, which should have perhaps merited a more dramatic reaction from a lot of people, and it has not. It got buried. There are a lot of television channels that, or there are a lot of that didn't even put it up at prime time, which I think is very worrying at this point. How grave is this situation? How worrying is this situation for us as ordinary citizens?
Absolutely worrying, because the ordinary citizen cannot really go and say rationally, using their own rationale that what is going right and what is going wrong. Look at Dr. Dabholkar's work over so many years, so many decades he was working against the superstitions. Because of him, the state government in Maharashtra has come against the law.
We have got all the information through RTI about what is going on. They have never shown their financial reports to the government. All these things need to be inquired. That's what we want to say. That
yes, you said that. You said that. Now allow the other members of the panel to speak, because you keep interrupting the other guests of mine and keep saying the same thing over and over again. Allow Mandar to talk about the fact that there were 20 bombs discovered within a few kilometers of the city of Mumbai. How many pistols?
11 pistols.
11 pistols, explosives, ingredients to be used, gelatin sticks, ingredients to be used to make a bomb, and then details of how those bombs would have been used to target ordinary citizens. This is not a situation where we should be sitting back and saying, let this all play out, let's see what the court says, then let's decide. This is a situation that should cause us to be very, very concerned. Someone was conspiring against us, someone was conspiring against the state, and someone was conspiring against the country.
What had happened
I would personally say, Faye, that this is a tip of the iceberg. These people who have been arrested till today are not the only members of Sanatan Sanstha. There are many more who are still outside absolutely free. We do not know to what extent they are involved, what is more material which is available with them, what is going to happen tomorrow, day after and thereafter. It's scary.
It's scary, yeah.
You are sitting on a ticking time bomb. Unless and until you don't ban this organization, your activities cannot stop.
Well, on that note, I'll have to wrap up this discussion, but the evidence that's emerging, it's all pointing in one direction, and we will bring you more updates of this evidence as and when it comes to us from the police. But as of now, this is where we are. The ATS conducted a raid outside of Mumbai a couple of weeks ago where it arrested 3 people and seized 20 bombs, explosives and 11 pistols. It unraveled a plot of terror to attack the citizens of the state of Maharashtra. While interrogating these 3 people, they have now received leads that will help them solve murders that have not been solved for the last 5 years. Now, these 4 murders, interestingly, already had lots of links, but the question that it now brings up is, who is the mastermind? Why are there so many similarities? And will the police now manage to put everybody behind bars? And when they do, if they have enough evidence to suggest that the Sanatan Sanstha was connected, then should the government of India ban this organization? Thanks for watching.